boys, I got the feed box noise. It says the great grandfather was equipoised.
I chose Paul Revere, now this is no bump steer.
Hello, racing fans, and welcome to another edition of Handicappers Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, and along with Drew Forster, we're going to go through the Friday, June 14th races. We do kick off another three-day week at Hastings Racecourse. Of course, Friday night, 7:15, and then Saturday, Sunday, both days at 1:50.
They got some good cards this weekend, too. There had been some trouble early in the year getting the races to fill, and they didn't have much problem. It's good-sized fields, three good cards this weekend. Of course, Friday Night Live is always exciting.
Yeah, a lot of fun. Yeah, 7 races tonight and 7 races on Saturday and 8 on Sunday.
8 on Sunday. And before we get into that, we're going to go back to last Sunday. It was Spring Preview Day.
Yes.
And we're going to look at 2 of the stakes. This is the first one, the Emerald Downs for 3-year-old fillies. Keep your eye on the 4-horse here, I Think So, out of the Troy Taylor barn, owned by North American Thoroughbred Horse Company.
I think he's a little tight here for old Gold Strike Glory down on the inside.
Puts a little pressure on her, gets the lead, and it's kind of her race to lose from this point on. Grider gets her to relax here. Gold Strike Glory comes up, put a little pressure on her, and kind of, she gets almost a 23 there, 22 and 4.
Yeah, pretty easy fractions.
Yeah, you can't give her those kind of fractions and expects to beat her. She's just she's been on. Looking very good since she arrived here at Hastings, coming from the fairgrounds. Both races have been quite impressive. This one, the last one, very impressive. This one, no less impressive. Gold Strike Glory comes up to her here to put more pressure on her. And I think so, just kind of, Grider starts to ask her, and she starts to get away from her a little bit. Silkworm runs a very nice race.
Currently in third spot.
Yeah, she's in third. She runs
the white blinker's going to come out 3 deep, I think. Or no, going to go inside Gold Strike Glory. I got to come outside here.
But I think so. It's just running away from
Gold Strike Glory was softened up was trying to win it down the backstretch and on the turn. But 9 and 4, final time 16 and 3. Very impressive performance from I Think So and Aaron Grider. Troy Taylor and North American Thoroughbred Corp. That was an excellent effort. Still a good run from Silkworm, though, out of the Greg Tracy barn. Well, next we did have the 3-year-olds in the River Rock Casino, featuring the favorite was Major Dundee and Proud Victor. Those are the 2 horses that looked like on paper were going to be the horses. We'll pick it up at the break here. I got one more to load. But
keep an eye on the 1, Ruby's Victory. This is your eventual winner. A horse that's still undefeated out of the very underrated Milton Palma barn. Milton was an assistant trainer to Terry Jordan for years. He works for trainer Pete Gregory now. Has a couple of his own, and this one looking like one of the more promising 3-year-olds around.
Yeah, I mean, just nobody really wanted the lead here. Tracker's sitting second. They're all fanned out like a harness race. They're all just happy, and they stay in their lanes, and this horse has a 3-length lead and really wasn't going all that quickly to have a 3-length lead. Proud Victor is going to push it up, and
no pressure to this point. I mean, he's just out there kind of cruising.
Pretty easy fraction, 22 and 2, but almost 22 and 3. But more importantly, a big 3-length lead. So you're going to get a good breather for Ruby's Victory down the backstretch here. And this horse got bet pretty good for a horse that just broke its like a non-winners of 1 allowance.
Yeah.
And this horse was only 4-1 against Proud Victor, who's a multiple stakes winner.
Proud Victor kind of starts to get out a little bit on the turn. It just didn't seem like his day.
This horse was 4 or 5 wide. I mean, this horse is out deep. Major Dundee sees the advantage and got in between Tracker and you see the 4-horse and the red and white checks of the North American Thoroughbred Corp.
He puts in a good run here too. Gives him a good run, but it's just been too easy on Ruby's Victory.
It's been a long drive for Major Dundee. Had to be used early backstretch to get in between horses to get ahead of Proud Victor, who looked like the horse to beat on paper, but Ruby's Victor drew away. Nice win.
Yep, with Major Dundee making a nice late charge there, and Shooting Jacket, a horse that just broke his maiden.
Scooted up the inside.
Yeah.
That was an impressive run by all 3. But Ruby's Victory, congratulations to trainer Milton Palma, first stakes win. But he's been involved with a lot of nice horses. He worked for Terry Jordan. He's worked for Pete Gregory, as you mentioned. He's involved with High End Man last year for Pete Gregory. He's been involved with a lot of nice horses. Dancing All-Star on those.
True Metropolitan.
Metropolitan with Terry Jordan. So this Milton Palma is no stranger to winning big races, but this will be his first stakes win, and congratulations to Milton. All right, let's get on to the Friday night program. 2-year-olds for you here, field of 7.
Bambinos, yep.
3.5 furlongs, maiden 20 ground. I headed down to the inside of the 1, Hanrahan, for Greg Tracy. This horse did miss the break, was squeezed, and then rushed up, and I thought ran a credible race behind Miss Dickey. since come back to work reasonably well, and I just think this horse hopefully can break a little bit better. And a lot of times 2-year-olds will break better second
The
time
second
out.
start for sure.
And we'll need to from the rail though. But I like the 1 Hanrahan. I put the 3 Lord Galovic from the first crop of Sir Galovic, very impressive winner with Miss Dickey, who is his son, her daughter, pardon me, winning in her debut. This horse has got some nice works, good connections. The mare Cinnabion's thrown some nice horses, so it wouldn't be a shocker to see this one be pretty live as well. And I put the 5 Abil, who will go in blinkers, showed good gate speed in that race, couldn't maintain his position, but maybe the blinkers will help, and put him in for third. I went 1, 3, and 5 in the Friday night opener.
I say very similar. As you mentioned, Hanrahan looks very tough in here. Lord Galovic, for the reasons you mentioned, the connections, the works, a lot of systems go there. Although in the third spot, I put Guns A-Blazin', owned by Hall of Fame trainer Lance Giesbrick. Comes out of the Phil Hall barn. Got good numbers for this distance. And Phil Hall won the first 2-year-old race this year. His 2-year-olds look ready, primed, ready to go.
Did you notice? That was the name of the horse.
That's right,
Did you notice?
Yeah, and gets Scott Williams aboard. And as Mike would always say, look at him in the paddock. So this might be one, keep an eye on the 6. I wouldn't be surprised to see if the 6 runs.
The mare could run. The mare was really fast. It had some speed too after the night.
That's right.
The one Colt Navajo night isn't quick, running later on. But this horse looks like it's got some speed in the mornings, and I wouldn't be surprised. Anything, it could be pretty quick out of that mare after the night.
Yeah. So I went 1, 3, and 6 in the first. On to the second, 3-year-olds and up, claiming 5,000 non-winners of the year.
Don't need to move.
Going
again.
3.5.
Don't need to move it.
Going 3.5. I went to the 4 Cherokee Tier out of the Rob Gilker barn. It's been a nice horse throughout his career. I was running for 25 a couple years ago. Only made 3 starts last year. And he's 9 now, but I think the 3.5 is going to be kind of easy on him. I think he's quick enough. He might be able to. It's funny to say in a 3.5 race, but kind of stalk and maybe make a good run down the lane. I got him on top. The second spot, your logical horse near Veni Vidi Vici, a couple seconds in this condition already this year. He's very quick. He's always in the mix. And the third spot, I went to number 1 Vernon Cat out of the Gary Sates barn. Another one who shows good gate speed. Only got beat a couple lengths in that Bosco's Quick Veni Vidi Vici race last week. So I got 4, 6, and 1 in the 3.5 race for older boys.
I got the same 3 horses. But I'm going to go to the 1 Vernon Cat on top. This horse was really compromised by an outside draw. Was 4 and 5 wide the whole race. Still only going to be 2 lengths. Well, you're not going to get beat a lot of lengths going 3.5 furlongs anyway. But still, the horse had the worst of it and was still battling on well. I thought the horse ran a very good race with an inside draw and the similar type break that he had last time. I think he gets the lead. I think he can maintain his position on the rail instead of being the one chasing. Hopefully he can protect the rail and make the other ones go wide. So I'm going to try the 1 Vernon Cat over the 6 Veni Vidi Vici, and I put the 4 Cherokee Tier in for third. Probably not his distance, 3.5 furlongs, but there's a reason why he's in here, and we'll see if he can outrun my expectations. A horse that isn't particularly quick out of the gate, but he does have a really good turn of foot once he gets rolling. So we'll see if he can, like you mentioned, sit in the box seat and maybe pop out late and win the money. But I went 1, 6, and 4. On to the third race, maiden 30 granders, going a mile on the 16th, 3 and up here. Colts and Geldings. Actually, there is one filly in here, Sitka Song, in the lineup. But I've gone to the 3 Monaghy. I mean, it's a kind of an obvious pick. The horse did run second to Bluegrass Pride. Didn't have much pace on it all in the race. Was out there with Peyton's Best. Neither one really had an excuse, the 3 or the 6. Just Monaghy ended up winning the battle between those two, and so I'll side with Monaghy. A decent work since the race, and has the distance test under his belt, which is something, more than you can say for a couple of his tough rivals. I think I put the 2 Barbheads runners in behind the 2 Lord Calazar, who will go back without blinkers off tonight after being over racing a bit with the blinkers on, and I know he was a little erratic when Aaron Greider rode him when he was in tight at a couple different spots, maybe figured he needed blinkers. Then he was just over racing with blinkers, and I think to go a distance of ground, he's going to need to relax. So I think the blinkers off is a good move. And I put the 5 Legal Bandit in for third. Horse that ran a good second, very fast to Milk Me and Joey. The stretch out, he's a full brother to Goldfire, so there might be some, or a half brother to Goldfire.
Yeah, you might like the
Goldfire's
distance,
a strong victory, but there's some distance in this pedigree. So I went 3, 2, 5.
I agree with the 3. He looks like the horse to beat in here. He's the obvious choice, Monaghy. I put Legal Bandit in the second spot. As you mentioned, the half brother to Goldfire. I like that second to Similkameen Joey in a sprint race. as you mentioned, to a fast Milkamine Joey. So it's stretching out. I do like Legal Bandit in here. And in the third spot, I did put the filly Sitka Song in. She's one that's crying out for the distance, absolutely bred for the distance. And she closed up a lot of ground in her last race. So I could see her being one of the horses. Some of them, it's a question mark for the distance in her. I think she's going to love the distance. She is in against the boys, so that's a tough assignment for her. But I put her in the third spot, expecting that she will be running late and maybe can get up and get a piece of it. On to the fourth, Fillies Mares claiming 4,000, non-winners of 2. And I've gone to the inside script this. Very fast filly out of the William Levanaway barn. Ran into a very tough Century Union last time.
Did she ever? Yeah.
Just got, Century Union just ran away from the field. Script this was actually the favorite that day. I don't see
Why?
any.
I don't know why.
I don't know why against Century Union.
That day.
I don't see anybody like Century Union in here. I think it's her race to lose. I put number 2, Lady Born, out of the Pedro Alvarado barn. She's been testing deeper waters in those 7,500 non-2, non-3 category. Drops into the 4 non-2, which I think fits her very well. And in the third spot, I put Crypto Magic, a horse that Jon Snow claimed 2 starts ago. Ran back for the maiden 5. She made no mistake. Nice little 3-year-old filly. Made a decent run in that race. Takes the next logical step, the non-2, 4.
Yep.
I think she fits in here, the daughter of Wilco. I got 1, 2, and 6.
Yeah, I agree with the 1 and 2. I can see the 6 running in there as well. I went to the 1 script this. Had to hook the tough filly Century Union in the eye the whole race last time, and still managed. I know she got beat 7 lengths, but she still held second, which is ahead of a lot of these horses that she ran against last time. So I don't think there's any Century Unions in here. So I think she'll get things a lot easier on the head end. So I'm going to go with the 1 script this over the 2 Lady Born, who's dropping out of those non-3s into a non-2. And I put the 5 Spirit Wandering, who had kind of a wide trip last time and might get a better journey with Ryan Pacheco on. He was the rider that was aboard for when he did win a couple starts back. So I like to pay attention to those rider horse combos where they have success, and I think this horse could be might even be a chance to upset. I think you need all 3 horses actually in your early pick 4. I went 1, 2, and 5. On to the 5th race, 4 Grand Claimers going a mile on the 16th. Colts and Geldings here, field of 8 signed on. I ended up on the 7, Good, Bad, and Ugly. Pretty classy old guy that, even if you look at his races last year, his sprints are no good. His mile 16th races are good. And his good is at a mile on the 16th. His bad is sprinting, and his ugly is probably going 3.5. So for the good, bad, and ugly. But the good news is that he's going a mile on the 16th. Not a lot of speed signed on. I think he's going to get the lead in here, or at least be close to the pace. So I like Good, Bad, and Ugly to get the job done. I put the 8 Olaxa, who certainly won't mind the stretch out and ground. A couple of on-the-board performances sprinting. So I think Olaxa is sitting on another good effort. And I put the 4 Back of the Bus, another one that might relish some more ground. Ran a better than looked race behind Woombroom Express in a very fast heat last time. So I'll give this horse a shot with some weight off with apprentice Alex Marty. I went 7, 8, and 4.
I got the 8 on top. I like Olaxa. This is a horse who always runs good long. Ran a good second behind Raising Memo in 6.5 race, and he is not a 6.5 horse. He finally gets to stretch out, stretch his legs, going a mile 16th under Antonio Reyes. I got him on top. Good, Bad, and Ugly, as you mentioned. Another one who relishes the distance. I got him in the 2nd spot. And for a bit of a long shot, I put Kongratsky in the 3rd spot under Ryan Pacheco for Steve Henson. There's not a whole lot of pace in here, and he might be one that could get out there and, kind of start clipping along and maybe stick around to pick up the pieces. I don't mind Kongratsky, but I got 8 and 7 I really like here. I got 8, 7, and 3. On to the 6th, 3-year-olds and up, 7,500. Competitive little field. I've gone to the 5 horse, Cabo Chico. Horse that Anita Bolton has up here for Bob Chima. Claimed out of Santa Anita for 12.5. Probably should have won the day that he ran here the first time for 15. Got kind of lost around the corner and then came back on. Then he ran into the very hot Elasting Piece for 15. Cuts his price in half down to 7,500. I think that puts him in the winner circle. The 2nd spot, I put the always tough Arkhill. He just won the non-winners of the year. This is a logical step for him to go in the 7,500. It's a good spot for him. Richard Hamill retains the mount, and he knows his horse well. They've had a lot of success together. In the 3rd spot, I put Blade Scuffler. He's still eligible for the non-winners of the year, but because he ran a really good race last time, couldn't get out. He had
run late. There was some trouble. This horse would have been better than 3rd.
Yeah, he would have been right there, I feel, and he just kind of got bottled up and couldn't run, but he was full of run at the end. So I took a shot. I put him in the 3rd spot. I got 5, 1, and 6.
Yeah, I like the 5-1. I agree with Cabo Chico. Dangerous horse, as long as he doesn't get involved with the 4-horse Now Act in a crazy pace duel. And Canucks Roar even has some speed as well. But as long as he avoids a pace duel, I think Cabo Chico is going to be awfully tough to beat. And if Cabo Chico gets into a pace duel, I think the 1 Arkell is your next horse. So I think you can get away with the 1 and 5 in this race in your pick 4s or pick 3s, whatever wages you like to use. But Arkell, good run last time. From an inside draw, one with plenty in reserve, and definitely deserves a shot up here. He's got some back class. And the 3-horse Riboletto, I'm going to give a shot to off a 2-year layoff. Horse got decent works. John Morrison takes his time with his horses, and this horse could be ready to roll. This is not a tough assignment for Riboletto, so I put him in for 3rd. But I went 5, 1, and 3 in the 6th race. On to the 7th and final event on the Friday night card. Got a field of $4,000 Colts and Geldings going 6.5 furlongs, non-winners of a race in 2013. I've landed on the 2 Funny Face, going to be your favorite, likely off of his runner-up effort to Woon Express in 117 flat. He can show speed. He can come from a little off it.
Yeah.
He's versatile. I like that, and he's facing horses that he should beat. I think the 2 Funny Face is your winner, unless he takes a step backwards for some reason. But I put the 6 Swongs in for 2nd, and the 7 Navajo Night, the half-brother to the filly in the first race.
That's right.
In the first race that Phil Hall trains for Kim Peacock and Lance Giesbrecht. And Navajo Night ran a good race against Slow Fractions last time. It still ran well. So hopefully a better pace scenario for Navajo Night. I still like him to run on in this kind of a tiny field, too. That'll help any back runners. There's only 6 other horses to go around. So I went 2, 6, and 7.
I see it the same way. Funny Face, I think, is going to be very tough. He laid in 2nd last time. That was on the track, was very speed favoring, and couldn't get by Woon Express. I liked him that day. I like him even more today. Swongs, as you mentioned, always pretty competitive at this level. He just always seems to be, right there. This isn't as tough a field as he's been in, as these horses start to get eliminated. And Navajo Night, I have in the 3rd spot as well. I have the same horses, 2, 6, and 7. And that'll do it for our analysis of the Friday night card. Up next, you're going to see our picks. Mike,
quick recap here.
Mike is up first.
I got a lot of aces. I'm going to start off with a 1, Hanrahan. I'm going to go 1, 3, and 5 in the Friday opener. In race number 2, I went to the 1, Vernon Cat. Hopefully the 1 hole is good for those 3.5 furlong races. I went 1, 6, and 4. 3rd race, number 3, Monahee, 3, 2, 5. 4th race, number 1, Script This, another speed horse, 1, 2, and 5. The 5th race, number 7, Good, Bad, and Ugly, 7, 8, and 4. 6th race, number 5, Cabo Chico, 5, 1, and 3. And in the 7th, the 2, Funny Face, 2, 6, and 7. I got a lot of speed horse. Hope the track's playing for speed on Friday.
And on to my picks, I got a lot of the same horses. I went to the 1, Hanrahan, as well in the 1st, over the 3 and the 6. In the 2nd, I went to the 4, Cherokee Tier, over the 6 and the 1. In the 3rd, I went with the 3, Monahee, over the 5 and the 4. In the 4th, I went to the 1, Script This, over the 2 and the 6. In the 5th, I went to the outside, number 8, Olaxa, over the 7 and the 3. In the 6th, I agree with Mike on number 5, Cabo Chico, over the 1 and the 6. And again in the 7th, I'm with Mike on number 2, Funny Face, over the 6 and the 7.
All right, that'll do it for the Friday, June the 14th edition of Handicappers Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. Once again, racing Friday starts at 7:15. You got Saturday and Sunday racing at 1:50. Don't forget Father's Day on Sunday. If you can't make it out to the track, make it here to the Derby Bar and Grill. There's some big specials and a nice breakfast buffet on. Chef Andy's got a nice buffet going on Father's Day, so bring Pops out for some good food and some good racing out here at the Derby Bar and Grill. So on behalf of Drew, thanks for tuning in to Handicappers Corner, and we'll see you next time.
I'm picking Valentine, 'cause on the morning line, the guy's got him figured out.